All right, hey everyone, I'm going to show everyone how to use the custom template function in PowerSlideAI so that as I build out my template library, I can actually bring my own slide templates that the AI can understand and use and generate on my behalf. So we'll go to the PowerSlideAI section of the ribbon here, and we'll simply click the Add Custom Templates button. What this is going to do is this is going to open your PowerSlide Templates PPTX that is typically only running in the background. But once you click that button like I just did, it will open it in the foreground and it will take you to this instruction slide that tells you exactly step by step how to make your own custom template. And essentially, it's pretty simple. You can do it in a few minutes here. I'm not going to read through all of this because I'm actually just going to show you. But the way that the PowerSlideAI templates work is that we'll start with this sort of prototype template. Obviously, you can see I've put this big copy of the slide and delete this text box on here so people don't accidentally delete it. But you'll copy it, Control-C, Control-V, and you'll make a new version of it. And then you can delete this text box. And what we're looking at here is basically the basic components of a PowerSlideAI template slide, where at the top, this is actually where we're going to give the AI a description. This is almost like, think of this as like background information for the AI, so it understands what the template is, what it might be used for, how it's laid out. Obviously, there's a lorem ipsum here filling in the title and the subtitle. The AI understands and knows this already. You can leave this. You don't have to change it unless you absolutely want to. In the notes section at the bottom, this is important. This is where you have to give your custom template a name, and you must make sure that it is prefixed. It starts with custom underscore. And then in the middle, we have 10 text boxes. You can think of these text boxes as options. You don't have to use all of them, but these are the text boxes that you need to simply move around and reformat so that the AI can access them and use them. These are what the AI is trained on. It understands and knows how to use these text boxes. So you'll need to keep them or delete the ones you don't want, but ultimately you'll need to use these for content that the AI is going to fill. So let's say I have a template in mind, right? I have let's say I have a slide that I use on a regular basis, and let's go here to our monthly funnel analysis slide and say, okay, this is the template slide I want to create. Obviously, this is just a regular slide. This isn't a PowerSlideAI template slide, so we're going to have to do some work on these things here, right? So the first thing that I like to do when creating a new template slide is actually we'll just select all these text boxes and I'll just move them off the page so we don't have them in the working space. And then I'll go to the template slide that I want to create, and I'll select all the content that I want to have in my template slide. And so in this case, I don't need the title. I just want the sort of visual and these text boxes here. And I'll come back to the PowerSlideAI template and I'll paste this in, right? And so now let's say, okay, this is always my funnel, right? So I don't actually want to change any of this. I want to leave these elements here. It's always called awareness, consideration, conversion. This is always what we call it at my organization when I make this deck. And so we'll keep this. And now I want to make sure that I can just use PowerSlideAI and tell it, okay, our awareness, was up 10% and consideration was down 2%, but conversions were up 15%. And these are the reasons why. So if you imagine using this template and prompting PowerSlideAI to fill it out, these are the things that we're going to want PowerSlideAI to fill. So instead of keeping all these text boxes here, we are actually going to delete them, right? And then we're going to say, okay, let's say I want text box 1 to be like my metric text box. We'll say text box 2 is the description of the text box 1 metric. And then we'll have text box 3 here, which will be the next metric, and then text box 4 for the next description. And you can see it's not very hard, right? I'm literally just moving these things around. And then ultimately it's up to you how you want to format them. If you want them to have filled in foreground like this, that's totally fine. You can do that. If you just want them to be vacant, empty text boxes, that is something that you can do as well. And so we'll just select them all. And let's say we just want all of the fonts to be black. We don't want them to have any fill. And we actually want the size to be a little bit bigger, so we'll increase the size on these things. And we'll make the metrics bold. And actually, I want the font size to be a little smaller for the description so we can get a little bit more information in there. And I want them to start on the left side. These are fine centered, right? So you have to think about your formatting that you want here. But ultimately, that is the first key part of building your template. So now we have the general layout of the template built and set in here, right? So what do we have to do next? Well, now we should write the description now that we don't want it. Like, okay, so we can just tell this in plain language. This is a funnel analysis slide with awareness at the top and text box 1 for the metric and text box 2 for the description. Then we have consideration with text box 3 for the metric and text box 4 for the description. Finally, at the bottom of the funnel, we have text box 5 for the metric and text box 6 for the description. You asked me, is it necessary that we really describe the slide so literally like this? Yes, it is, because this is how the AI understands and sees this slide, right? It needs to have this description so it knows how the slide is oriented. It knows where each of the labeled text boxes are relevant to the visual elements of this slide. And what I like to do in some of these descriptions is also give it an idea of what it's used for. And in this case, I'm going to say, this is just my slide I use for funnel analysis. And this is used for my company's monthly funnel and, analysis. Let's say marketing. Okay, and that's it. Now you have your description, and then finally, we'll have to give it a name. So we're going to call it custom, because we have to prefix it with this custom, because that tells the AI, hey, this is a user custom template. I need to pay attention to this. And we'll call it monthly funnel analysis. Simple, right? So now we're just going to save this, just like we would save anything else. You can save it. You can close it. And let's go back to our working deck here, and let's say that we want to create our monthly funnel analysis slide. Let's create a monthly funnel analysis slide with awareness up 10% due to increased ad spend, consideration up 5% due to new retargeting, let's call it, right, strategies. And conversions are up. So this is just a great month, right? It's just crushing all our numbers. Are up 25% due to site personalization tactics in place. So it's going to be looking for that template, and then it's going to generate the content. Let's see what we got. Boom. So as you can see, I forgot to clean up the rest of the other text boxes out here. So this is something you have to be mindful of. And as you can see, I didn't think through the sizing and the formatting of the text boxes. So these are the things you have to think through as you're building your own templates, right? There are settings in PowerPoint so that you can make the font size change dynamically based on how much text is in the text box. But otherwise, I mean, we went from that slide template to just being able to simply describe the content that you wanted and ultimately having it generated in a moment. So pretty cool. That's how you can build out your own library of custom templates in PowerSlideAI. And I'm excited to see how you guys use these features. Thanks.